Good morning. First, giving honor to the Most High for waking me up this morning and giving me an opportunity to be better today than I was yesterday. And I'm going to try to do that. It is not easy, but I'm going to try. You know, there are limitless opportunities to exercise humility. And right now, I just survived the first part of that, but I don't know if I can keep going, y'all. Hey, Riaz, how you doing, baby? Can you hear me okay? Hey, team. Look at Mixed Chick. Mixed Chick might be able to understand this, what I'm talking about. I'm going to try not to cry. So anyways, what up, Easy? How you doing? Oh, my gosh. Hey, Easy. So you guys know that I just started back school. And yes, amen. And my first class, knocked it out of the park, even bragged about it, took myself to lunch, all that good stuff, right? Got all A's across the board. And that class was actually harder than the one, well, in terms of numbers, right? It's an more advanced class than this one. This is actually the first class. I had to take the first class now. And so it's about critical thinking. Hey, DOI, how you doing? And so it's about critical thinking, and it is the hardest thing I've ever done. So I understand why a lot of people don't do it, right? A lot of people don't critically think because there's a lot of steps to it, and you have to consider everything. So anyways, I was given an assignment, and the assignment that they gave me, and I don't know if this was specialized for particular people or if they picked which video to review, but they gave me the one with the dog walker. The lady that was walking her dog in Central Park, and the black man came and told her to put a leash on her dog. So I'm looking at the link and I'm like, did they send this one to me for this? Something ain't, I don't know. I was like, I hope everybody got this assignment, but I digress. So the assignment is basically use your critical thinking, all of the steps, all of the elements in critical thinking, and give a recommendation to her employer at the end, right? That's the assignment. So I thought. So I do my whole reasoning. It took me 2 days to complete it because it's not easy. You have to do a lot of research. You have to add concepts and all kind of things into it, theories, models, all of that to back up your thinking throughout this whole thing, right? You just had a conversation with Sunday about critical. Yeah, listen, there's steps to it that a lot of people don't consider. That's why it's so easy to come on YouTube and just what you should do, what you need to be doing, because a lot of people aren't taking the time to think critically about why the situation even occurred, how we got here, and what the end result could be. So anyways, I turned in my assignment. I had a headache afterwards because it was just a lot. But I'm thinking I killed it. I did my 1-2 on this assignment. Y'all, I just looked at my shit like an hour ago. I've already cried and everything. I got an 80. Now, a lot of people might say 80 is not bad. It's still passing. True, it is. However, somebody like me that has an ego out of this world, which is something I have to work on daily, every day. I have to die to my ego and my pride in order to be humble. So when I got that 80, of course, I became enraged. And then I looked at my professor's feedback. And he says that I introduced my personal thoughts and experiences too early. Now, so my first thought was, I go back to the assignment, I look, and I'm like, no, I waited until the 5th step to introduce my personal thoughts, because you want us to be honest about our own biases, our own thoughts, our own in order to come to an end conclusion. So my thought was, I'm gonna tell you, right? This is my ego talking. I want to go off on my professor because I'm like, bruh, do you know how much work I put into this? So A-Team says, I told them being intelligent and critical thinking are two different things. That's right. You can be smart, but if you don't use all of the facets of the thinking, that intelligence means nothing. You might have some people that understand and some people that won't, some people that agree, some people that won't. But that's life in general, right? But the thing about critical thinking that I'm learning is that a critical thinker is somebody that is fair. And in order to be fair, you have to consider everything. So anyways, in my critical thinking mind, which is why I call myself the average logical thinker, because I think on an average level, just like everybody else. I'm not superior. I'm not that. None of that. I just think on a basic level, and I'm learning how basic I am. Yes, Kaden, I do. So anyways, I got the 80. I look at my thing. I'm going to get back. I'm like, so then I finished reading because it wasn't just a one-liner. It was a paragraph that my teacher wrote. Then he says, I don't think you fully understood the assignment. Me? I read the assignment 10 times over. You telling me I didn't understand something? How dare he, right? That's that pride, that ego, that puffiness that I have about myself, that I have to die to all the time. And he said, I don't think you fully understood the assignment, and the end result, your recommendation is important, but it's not the most important part of the assignment. So then I'm thinking, well, damn, if the assignment starts off with, this is Templeton, they're the ones that fired the lady, give them a recommendation. To me, I'm thinking the recommendation is the main part, but no, it's all of the steps of critical thinking, not just that. Did your emotions take over? Yeah. Is that what the professor was saying? No, he didn't say that I was being emotional, but he was saying that I was using my personal thoughts and opinions based on my experience too soon in the critical thinking scenario. So it's okay. I probably should have held that for the assumptions part, which comes later. So it's the purpose, what's the goal, the objective, the question at hand, what's happening, information, all the evidence, what's actually happening, interpretation, right? Just how you think about it, inferences, your conclusions, your solutions, concepts, which is theories, definitions, laws, principles, models. I introduced it there because I thought that maybe introducing my history and things that I've seen should have gone there, but I should have probably held on. And then the next is assumptions, presuppositions, axioms, things that we take for granted when we're thinking. That's probably where I should have put it, but I digress. And then there's implications and consequences, and then there's your point of view. So A-Team says, can I get a wrench because Kaden needs to be, what time, Kaden say? Yeah? Something about me having kids? Give me a second, A-Team, before I lose my thought. You know I'm old. So I put it in too soon. Or maybe, honestly, I'm thinking when it comes to these things, I feel like it was a setup. I'm just going to be honest. I feel like it was a setup. But it was good. It was good for me because what I ended up doing, you guys, was I said a quick little prayer. I said, Lord, help me. That's all I said. And in that instance, I went back to my teacher and I just simply said, okay, Professor Keys, I'll do better next time. And then I left it at that. Because you have to understand when you're in these programs and you're in school, there's a huge chance, number one, that you might get that professor again. And I told you guys, hey, Messi, that I have a huge ego. My pride is ridiculous. And it's something that God has been working with me on for years. And I'm getting better at, but some things trigger me. And when I get a not so satisfying grade, it can lead to a self-pity. And once I get in that self-pity mind frame, it takes me down a rabbit hole of all of my failings, and I've worked really hard to not let one thing get me back to that, you know? And so I just told my professor, hey, I'm going to do better. And I left it at that. I didn't argue. Because I don't want him to think of me as an argumentative person. I don't want him to see me as somebody that's not learning from this. I still have to learn from it. And that's why I'm telling you guys, because I don't want to just come on here seeming like I got everything together and Mo does no wrong, when we all know that we're human, right? And we all make mistakes. But I need you guys to see that it's possible to fail at something and build yourself back up. It's possible to do something wrong and perceive that you're doing it right, but still take that L with humility and grace, because that's what God wants us to do. Because I didn't go off on my teacher, because I didn't talk back, because I didn't refute or anything like that, I'm going to be blessed for it, and I'm just going to think better. I know what my issue is. I have a lot going on, and I got so many other things on my mind too, and maybe I'm not paying attention. Maybe I'm not reading the assignments enough. Maybe I'm doing too. I don't know. Hey, Donovan. I had a teacher tell me kind of the same in critical thinking. She noticed I was comfortable with my thinking process and obviously did not want to get higher than a C. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, we're adults in school. So we've already lived these full lives. We've already been through things and seen things. So it's hard to just negate all of the things that we've experienced and just think critically without bringing in all of those things in our from our lives into our thinking and into our assignments. Like, you gave me a racist white lady that I had to critically think about. How did you think that was going to turn out? Like, I have to give some input, and I felt like I did a really good job. I mean, I had the New York Penal Code stuff in there. I had business practices stuff in there, all of that. So I did my research. I inputted, I had 7 references, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I did a damn good job on that. So to get an 80 is just like a stab, but I have to look at the positive, right? I have to. Thank you, Mashawn. Easy says, true that, and you don't want to piss them off or get on the right. Absolutely. I've done that before. Being who I am, when I was taking my bachelor's course, the assistant professor was some crippled dude, and he just thought he could talk to you any kind of way, calling you out in the chat with everybody to see, and I went off. Like, you could have pulled me to the side for this, bruh. And my grades suffered because of it, because I had an opinion. You're not going to disrespect me. What did you learn from this? You stated it earlier, that it's not the end of the world. I have to practice what I preach. I tell my son, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how something irritates you, bothers you, it's not the end of the world. You just pick up and you keep moving. Hey, Jay, that's it. You just pick up and you keep it moving. And I'm going to try not to let it damper the rest of my day. I'm just going to finish knocking out my assignments, do what I got to do. And if I end up getting a B in this class overall, then it is what it is. At least I passed. But humility is key. And that's the message I want to send this morning, is that humility is key, and that even if you feel like you're right, certain instances don't cause for you to prove that you're right. Sometimes you just got to bow down and let it be, because you have to look at the bigger picture. That's another part of critical thinking, is looking at the outcome, the solution. Right now, the outcome is that I could possibly have this professor again, and I don't want to ruin a thing, because this is the beginning of the class. This was just my second assignment. So I still have opportunity to pick my grade back up. I still have the opportunity to, but I don't want to ruin a relationship, a future relationship. Plus, I want to teach at the school later. So I have to make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's. I can't be the ABW, right? Because that's what I want to be. No lie. Because I'm like, who he think he is giving me an 80 when I done spent 6-7 hours researching, typing this stuff up and going over it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even use ChatGPT that much on this. I just did my thing. So stay positive, people, you know, and at the end of the day too, there's always like this, it's a grade. It's a grade. I got people who then lost their parents. I got people who got parents in the ICU right now. My neighbor, he's fussing at his wife right now because she got, you know what I'm saying? And he's out there cussing the storm. So I'm just like, I have to look at the whole picture. I have to look at life. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. I'm still here. That right there in itself is enough for me to just be grateful. Thank you, Lord. It's an 80. But for me, because it's happening to me, it feels like the biggest thing in the world, right? It is what it is. Yes, we have to be humble. That's the key. 18, humility. Y'all hit that like. It's 12 of y'all watching. Yeah, I don't want to be on the wrong side. Don't want to be on the wrong side of history now. Jay says, being humble has saved me plenty of embarrassment for being wrong in so many situations. Because then sometimes you go back and you be like, you know what, damn. Or you might find out evidence later on and you're just like, shit, I was wrong. But most people won't ever admit that, right? They won't. I have to admit that obviously I did not understand the assignment. And my teacher, I have a feeling that he's not native to America. And the way he talks, the way he types is how he actually speaks. So I have to be mindful of that when I'm looking at the assignments and stuff, because he has a different type of way of wording things. So I have to be understanding of that, and I have to, you know, ask questions. Hey, Mark. Yeah, 18. It's a leadership course. So thank you guys for being here. I had to work through that because I was just really frustrated. And I was like, maybe this is something that I could talk about online real quick and get you guys' feedback and opinion and encouragement, you know. But part of critical thinking really is just looking at all of the facets, and I have to look at my role in it. You know, it is what it is. What you guys got going on today? I'm about to get off of here because I have a coffee date at 10:30. And I'm going to be thinking about this the whole time, but I'm going to try to be engaged. But, oh, this is hard. This is hard for me. You know, I don't know. Yeah. Jay, I seen you on CDT. You be cutting up, man. You be a fool in them chats. And then 18 comes with the good stuff. Calm your butt down. All is good. You're doing great. You got to let it go. That's what I got to say, 18, right? I'll ace the next one. That's it. It's all about positive thinking too, right? Lies, Jay Tillman. Lies. You are not an angel. But none of us are, right? We all got our things about us, our quirks and things that we have to work on. But as long as we're always improving, one drop in the bucket every day. Just do something different, something better. You know, in AA, we always say, just do the next right thing. Just do the next right thing. That's it. You place with a thing because there's going to be limitless opportunities for you to exercise humility. Just do the next right thing. What would God want me to do? All right, I'm going to do this instead. Oh, auto text. Thanks, Easy. You can do it, put your back into it. You can do it, put your back into it. See, I feel better already. Thank you. The story is never as good if everyone goes and it's supposed to be. Every great story has ups and downs. It definitely do. Absolutely. It's not just going to be peaches and cream. Else nobody will watch, right? Boring. Yeah, girl. A coffee date. See, I ain't too good for a coffee date. Because I don't know if I want to sit there across from you trying to eat my chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I gotta test you out too. See what you about real quick, you know? But no, I got my real opinions about coffee dates. I think it just depends. I believe that if you've been talking for the person for a while and they really like you, like if the man really likes you like that, and especially if he think he getting some, no coffee date. We going to dinner. You got a treatment at dinner. And it ain't got to be expensive. It could be Cheesecake Factory, but damn. But if we just met and he wants to quickly see if there's a connection before he invests any more time, then I understand a coffee date. I understand it. But no, I'm not going to record it. Michonne will bring us to breakfast, lunch, and dinner with her. I'm not going to record it, Michonne. Maybe next time. Now, when he seals the deal and we committed and he okay with being online, I might go live. But until then, yeah. So anyways, you guys, I got to go get ready. I will talk to you later. I love you all. Jay says a coffee date is perfect for just finding out if you can tolerate the person's conversation. Yes. Yeah, because sometimes you just be like, what is they talking about? Like, I've been on dates before. I haven't dated in years. Mind you guys, it's been like probably 3, maybe almost 4 years since I've actually been on a date, right? And this one guy, we went out twice, talked about himself the whole time. I do this, I do that, I got that. Those are the worst. And I'm a very intriguing person. I want to know what you do, what you into, but at some point, you don't want to know what what I do for it. You don't care. You just weird to me. You can get feedback. You gonna tell me how I'm doing on the date? Mo, you're talking too much. Shut the hell up. Girl, he a good one. Keep him. That would be so funny. Oh, she gonna feel me if I'm spinning. Yeah. And that's fine to expect that because I think that's the end goal for most of y'all anyway, But, yeah, y'all remember that joke, DL? This is the fucking side of the menu. If she ordered that seafood, that steak, that's the fucking side of the menu. Okay? I know better than to order from especially if I'm like, oh no, this would never. Because, listen, gentlemen, we be knowing. I don't care how much money you got. We be knowing if we'll take you down. So, some people will risk it because they're just for the dollars, but that's up to you to discern, right? You got to know when she's in it for, and some guys just don't care. Some men know what it is. That's why I say older women don't get mad of these men that are dating these young girls and these IG baddies, because a lot of them already know what's up. They're okay with paying to get a service. It is what it is. I don't get mad. I just do you, bruh. Fair exchange, no robbery type shit, right? Do you ever go out with white guys? I have before, but it's not a normal practice. No, I'm a black woman. So anyways, I love my brothers, but I don't discriminate. Some of y'all don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. But yeah. Anyways, I gotta go. Philip, thanks for joining. Donovan, Messi. Oh, she's so sweet for coming in here. Riaz, King Dret, Easy. Who else? Jay, and A-Team, and Mork. I appreciate you guys so much for tapping in. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Yep, do your thing. Have fun and be safe. I will. You give me hope. There you go. Hope is the word. All right, y'all. Peace.